One thing I have definitely noticed as I've been trying to show up and share this journey is that it's so much easier to share the physical struggles that I've had than it is to share the mental and emotional ones. And I am only 5 days from surgery. And yes, I'm having plenty of physical struggles. I've been feeling much worse with my breast implant illness. It's no joke for sure. Everybody, my husband even was like, "This is for real," because it's like I was taking baby steps, getting better, and then it's just like I tanked. And you could see like raccoon eyes are back, and I'm exhausted. I sleep a ton, like 11 hours, and wake up and feel like I need to go back to bed, and I just don't want to wake up. Or sometimes I'm awake, hot sweating, hot flashing in the night. I can't think of things. My brain doesn't work. And, anxiety, panic, worry, and depression. And not only that, but my body's achy, joints are killing me, and it's such a struggle. But the bigger, harder thing, the thing I'm struggling with the most is this depression and this anxiety that's just like trying to drown me. And I'm trying to just keep my head above water. That's all I can do. That's been my whole goal this past week. And this week to come is just get me to surgery without totally falling apart into despair. And why is it that we have such a hard time sharing the emotional stuff? I mean, it's like when I came on here and said I had breast cancer, everybody was so supportive and oh my gosh, and you get all this support and stuff. And sometimes, like when you share, like, I don't know how this will turn out, but when I say things like, I'm really depressed and I'm trying really hard just to keep my head above water, and it's very lonely. And when you're depressed, you feel like you don't even want to be around yourself because you're so negative. It's like depression is this negative triad. Here's the psychologist me saying, like, it's a negative view of yourself, the future, and others. And it's all just blah. And so you're tired of being around yourself and you don't want to be there, but you have to and you have no choice. And so it's hard to want to share any of that because when you share it, it sounds so yucky and negative. And one thing I've noticed is that my jaw's hurting because I'm trying to be fine. And we do that, don't we? And, even my therapist was like, you don't have to smile when you're telling me how hard everything is. And it is hard. The struggle is real these past few weeks and this past 14 months. I mean, I can't believe it's been that long. And anyway, and I'm trying to be fine for my kids because they're nervous because obviously these surgeries and cancer and everything that's been going on this past year doesn't just affect me, it affects my whole family. And I know my girls especially are really nervous, and they're nervous because they know how I get when I have surgery. And I'm feeling this already. It's not just like despair and down and wanting to hide from the world and wanting to isolate, but yet feeling super alone, which is all part of depression. But it's also I'm angry. I'm angry. Why does this have to keep happening? And it does suck. It does. It's just not fair. That's all I can say. It's not fair. Up every time I'm shoved down. And that's all I can do right now is just I make myself roll out of bed and I literally roll onto my knees and I pray. And I just pray and say, Heavenly Father, I do not have the strength to do what I need to do. I don't even know what to do. I just want to hide. I just want to hide away. And the sad thing is, I'm just trying to get to surgery 5 days from now. And the surgery is like the biggest, scariest one I've had. And it's an 8-hour surgery. And it's a 6-week recovery at least, like just the basic recovery, like down for 6 weeks and then a few months. And it's a lot. It's a big deal. But it's like all I need to do right now is just get to that surgery. So it's like I'm hoping that surgery, even though it's going to be a hard recovery, will at least help me to not feel so sick. So at least I don't feel sick, and then maybe I can just be physically in pain. I know I can handle pain because I can get up every time I am knocked down. And this time, kneeling, praying, asking, what do I do? What's the next thing I do? And then just trying to get up and make myself do that thing, and also give myself a ton of grace and a ton of compassion and love, and just sort of check in with myself and give myself some love this way and remind myself that I'm not alone. And I know so many out there are struggling right now in this crazy world. You might not be going through the physical stuff, but the emotional stuff is just as hard and just as real. And the cancer warriors that I meet with in my group and others, we always talk about how the emotional journey is almost harder than the physical. It really is, because it's so overwhelming, and you don't really always expect it, and we don't know how to deal with it, and we don't have the same kind of support for it. So I guess I just want to say that I get you and I understand you. And those who aren't struggling, you probably will in the future, or maybe you have in the past. And I hope we can just have more compassion for one another and reach out and care for one another. And I don't know, just say how we're feeling. And when we see someone struggling, just say, "You're not alone. I'm here with you." And let that grace in, ask for that grace, and live. That grace is saving me right now, literally saving me.